6 months, that's 182 days, 4,380 hours. Not a lot of time, but maybe a lot of time if you think about it in a way. So it is so easy to just lose the time that you could have been doing something else. And I'm not even talking about scrolling on Instagram. It's just you're so busy with work and with life and things in general. It's kind of hard, okay? So this was something that I needed, and I went through millions of YouTube videos, like millions. I swear to God, I had watched hundreds of videos on how to change your life in 6 months, transform yourself in 6 months. Every single thing that I could think of, I had watched it. So let me just wear my specs. Okay. So there are three steps for this particular, how do you figure out what I'm gonna do in the next 6 months and how you're gonna do it. All right. The first step for this is gonna be find your what. So find out what basically means that what are the things that you want to do in 6 months, like the basic things that are bothering you right now and that you know that you have to change in like the next 6 months or next year. And also what are the things that you want like in the longer term, what are your goals. So the easiest way would be to just start writing down whatever you want. So for example, I'll show some prompts here that you can look at. You can pause the video right now and start it. Okay. So firstly it would be find your what. So you could just like literally what I did was I started writing, okay, this is me currently right now, this is what I want to be, because I will have my job starting in like 6 months. I'm not telling you right now to write what are the things that you need to do in 6 months. Just write everything. So for example, if you want to be a millionaire, write that down. If you want to have like a chocolate, write that down. Every single thing that you can think of that you want to be, that who you want to like just basically this ideal version of you with all of the things that you want to do. And it does not matter ki it's you don't have enough hours in a day or whatsoever. First step is to write everything down. Okay, that is the first step. Write everything down, whatever you want, and just take out a diary, like I have one here, and just write everything down. Take it, and then divide it into categories. So one could be like physical. Okay, so some people, like for example me, I have a very huge physical goal that I have to lose xyz amount by the end of 6 months. All right. And some people might not have that. Some people might want to gain muscle, whatever your physical goal is. And if there's no goal physically, that is good as well. Okay, it does not matter. There's one category for physical, one would be for your mental health and your emotional health. Okay, so that could have stuff like reading, journaling, all of these things, meditation, yoga, all of these things that will help you just regulate yourself better. There'll be another category which would be totally upskilling. All right, so that would be all of the content that you'll be watching, all of the courses that you might be taking, all of the topics that you'll be upskilling yourself on in these 6 months, so that it will help you to build that future that you want to build. Okay, we can go more in detail in each of these categories later on. And I personally had one more category, which is my career life, my professional life. So what are the things that I have to do in this? Okay, I have to learn this particular thing, I have to do, pick up this course, start doing this, or work on this, or all right. So divide. So by now I'm just summarizing what we did. Write down all of the things that you want to do, and then divide it into categories. The first one is your physical goals, your mental emotional goals, then your upskilling, whatever, like knowledge gain goals, and your career goals. You can also have one more section for your, so for example, someone wants to work on their social skills, socializing to people, talking to people, networking. You can have one for social and interaction. Okay, so you would have five broad sections that we will be talking about. And now you'll know, okay, these are the areas of my life that I'm going to work on. And then you have to cut it down. So obviously, I as a person, and I think most of us here have a tendency to want to do like this thing, that thing, this thing, that thing, and because of that we end up doing nothing. All right. So for this particular thing, what I did was, it's a very common thing in tech world. You prioritize it. So for example, these are my P1 items. For example, me losing my weight is a P1 item for me. I have a job right now. So me working that job and making sure that I'm giving my best in it is a P1 item. My P2 items would be more on the technical side of things that I have to do for my career. So that is like learning DSA, having new courses. But I know that I will not have time for this. And if I'm doing like 2 through 3 days in a week, that's good to go. If I'm not doing it, I'm not gonna like make myself feel bad about not being able to achieve P2 items, because I know the P1 items take up like a big chunk of my time. All right. So divided into priorities. Okay. Okay. Now let's take a break.
It's enough when I say it's enough.
This, I want you to write down that list right now. You can write it in phone, that's fine. Open up your notes app, just type it down quickly. What are the things that you want to do on top of your head? Okay. Then categorize it. Are these my P1 items that I have to do within these 6 months, and or are these something that I can start doing it later on, and just have like, just get into the flow of doing it maybe once or twice, but not something that I'm going to keep consistently tracking myself on. Okay. Now after this is like a really fun thing that I learned. Okay, so for the section 2 of our how to change our life in 6 months, we're gonna find out our cat and cheese. All right, so it's a very popular, I'm not sure, but this is something that I found when I was trying to figure out myself. Someone had mentioned that there was a study done that if there's a mouse and you put a cheese in front of it, it runs faster. So the same way, if we have motivation, if we have like an ideal version and goal, we run fast. But if there was a cat behind that mouse, and then the mouse was asked to run, we run even faster than the time when we ran, when we had the motivation. So the fear, so basically, I have a motivation of having this ideal body, or having this ideal, let's say, career, having this ideal persona, having this ideal knowledge. If I have a anti version of me, so there is an ideal version, there is an anti-ideal version, which is me being in a bad shape, me having no knowledge, me having no social skills, me having no career, me having no nothing basically. So that, just the thought of that, okay, I have done nothing, I know nothing, I can do nothing, that is scary, and that's going to push me to go and achieve my goals at a faster pace. And the third case, what they did was they put a cat behind it and they put a cheese in front of it. So the distance the mouse traveled as well as the speed doubled. So this is the trick. Okay, so for each of your goals, write down your cheese and write down your cat. So it's gonna help you visualize and understand what is the reason that is pushing you to achieve the goal, and what is the reason that you do not want in your life anymore. So you're working to make sure that does not happen. So this is what I did. Okay, I had these categories like weight loss. So I had my cheese written hot girl energy, cat would be not, no activity, same place I was in, no achievement, wasting my life. Okay, it is pretty like sad and very like hard on yourself, but all right. Okay, this is something that you have to do for yourself. So I had the same for me reading books. I wanted to read one book per week and get that into a habit, because the same thing for work, DSA, YouTube learning, journaling, body, everything. I had written down my cat and my cheese, and that helped me so much to just, I think I had started working on my goals in a way, but you slip up and you just don't want to do it anymore. And I was in the mood, okay, some days I'm doing it, some days I'm not. So once I had written this down and I knew, okay, the alternative of me not achieving these XYZ goals is something really bad and something I don't want to see, like, at all. I don't want to look into that image in my head ever again. So it pushed me. So finding your cat and cheese for these 6 months is going to be your next step. That is so very important.
That's a good ass plan.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are 2 sections down now. This is the third section that we have. Track everything. Whatever you're doing, just track it. So this is again something I watched in a video. I'll try to find it and link it down. It basically says that people who set their goals and visions in the new year, 90% of them are not likely to achieve that. Okay, and people who set their goals and are tracking their goals, even though they fail, okay, even they are able to achieve some percentage of it, which is still better than someone who's not doing anything at all. So there's something that you see in your like company quarterly reviews and stuff, right? So why do you have that? Because it gives you an idea about, okay, this is who I'm right now, this is what I've done, and this is where it's going, and is it aligning with my overall vision. So making sure that you're having these check-in sessions and reviews with yourself and you're able to track what you're doing is so important, because every day if you're writing somewhere or something, or noting it down, typing it, marking it anywhere, whatever you're doing, if you're able to do that, saying, okay, today I did gym, today I did not do journaling, today I do not, take, have like your entire, let's say, xyz months in a glimpse, and you'll be able to see, okay, for the last month this is what I did. So for example, even if in that tracker 90% of your days you have not marked anything, which means that you have not done anything, and only 10%, so 10 days you've been able to go to gym or read a book or whatever your goals are, that is still better than the fact that you might end up doing nothing. So yeah, that is the most important step, that track everything, so that when you're consciously putting yes and no, you're marking it, okay, okay, today I did not do it, so at least you'll have that desire to, okay, try next day, and it's okay, and that's all. You don't even have to like put in extra emotions or efforts or push yourself. Just track yourself, and that is already a system that you will be building to hold yourself accountable. Then I would suggest one more thing is have like a quarterly review. So since we're doing it for 6 months, I'm planning on doing like a 1 month check-in, 2 month check-in, 3 month check-in, just to see where did I start from, where am I going, and what have I achieved, and what are the things do I need to change my goals accordingly, do I need to change the plan that I'm working on, whatever. So it gives you like a better idea, and it's definitely gonna help you. All right, so I think these were the three things that I had to say, and the last and the most important thing that you have to do, you have to start right now. So I hope by this was like a long video, all right, so I hope by the end of this video you have an idea, and I know you could still like research more on this, but I feel this was a pretty good start for me, that I was able to, at the end of the day, you really need to start, like you could have the most perfect plan ever made, like, and you have chat gpt and claude and gemini, you have like so many ai tools. Just type out your current life right now, your routine, your responsibilities, your goals, your dream life, your the things you want to achieve. They can generate such a nice 6 months plan. All right, I'll be yeah, the last and the most important thing out of all of these three things is to just start doing it and showing up for yourself, because literally at this point you're not doing it for anyone, you're just doing it for yourself, because you can lead a very comfortable life. Like everyone in this world, they will end up leading a comfortable life, whatever their version of comfort is, something that the effort, the bare minimum that they will be putting for their life, which is decide, okay, this is something I want, this much I'm gonna work for. But the thing is, are you willing to push yourself the extra mile, the extra hour, the extra minute that will help you achieve all of those visions and dreams that you particularly have for yourself? um yeah, I think that's it for today's video. I've started, you want to be that person who halfway or midway can say that, okay, I am already achieving all of these resolution and goals that I have, rather than being that one person who's like, okay, let the next new year come and I'll start working then. All right, so all the very best, and yeah, so follow me on my Instagram, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.